In 1925, the world was shocked by the Lost World, and in 1933 they were blown away by...
Welcome to the horror show! You realize there is nowhere to run! No game to fight! Paranoia is getting alive!
King Kong, the 1933 epic adventure movie. You haven't lived until you've seen this epic adventure movie. The plot, an astounding motion picture, is underway. The set is in the jungles of Skull Island, where the single crewman and single cast member, I never understood that you need more than one person to make a major motion picture, are to venture into the Forbidden Land to make their film. But after meeting with some of the less than thrilled natives, they head back to the ship to go over things. However, the natives sail to the ship and kidnap the single cast member played by the damsel in distress, Fay Wray, and tie her up and wait for their god to arrive. Gunga! Now, after Ann Darrow, played by Fay Wray, is taken by the beast, half the group of sailors and Carl Denham, the single film crew member, head off to get her back while the other half stay at the gate to see their safe return. Battles between dinosaurs and Khan himself ensue, and what becomes of the story is a classic tale of Beauty and Beast. I used to watch this, Godzilla, the Wolfman, and Creature from the Black Lagoon all the time as a kid. Yes, Gilman is my favorite Universal monster. I know, blasphemy. The Stegosaurus, Brachiosaur, Tyrannosaurus, Elasmosaurus, and Pterodon, and even the small lizard thing are amazing spectacles, and they make you think this is an insane dino romp with Khan versus prehistoric predators. However, it takes about 45 minutes for them to actually get deep into the jungle, and about an hour and 15 minutes in we're in the city. So really it is like a good half an hour jungle trek with tons of viciously violent fights. Still, it's a kick-ass half an hour nonetheless. This movie is a marvel. However, this is not my favorite Khan movie. I know, how ridiculous can I be? The acting is good for the time, but by today's standards, it is really cheesy. I have nothing against older black and white movies. In fact, I love them. However, there is something about the acting and characters in this movie that came across as, dare I say, bland. Fay Wray is a ditzy damsel, and I really hate to say that because she is so iconic. However, she couldn't even save herself from a little chimp, let alone a massive gorilla, even if she tried. I do love Khan in this movie, but he does come across as goofy, and it doesn't help that his animal instincts are in the forefront, because then he becomes laughable. Kind of like a toddler in a bouncy chair. There are some scenes where he comes across as ferocious, but they're too few and far between. Being a bit nitpicky aside, this film is still pretty cool. I know the word classic gets tossed around a lot, especially for this movie. However, Godzilla is a classic, the Wolfman is a classic, the Creature from the Black Lagoon is a classic. This is more of a marvel than anything, kind of like Jurassic Park. This film also sports some great and even foggy atmosphere that really adds to the whole vibe of the areas these characters are in. The story is pretty good, too. The characters are a bit stereotypical but likable. The effects and action sequences are amazing spectacles. However, the monster Khan himself is a bit goofy. The heroine is a ditz, and the overall acting is just passable mainly because of the year this came out. In all seriousness, I was not taking this film seriously. Only when need be. I watched it knowing the standards it set in special effects and the generations of people it amazed, while still keeping in mind that this film is over 80 years old. I know back then this was not goofy or cheesy, and I respect that. Therefore, I will not be too harsh with the rating, but I'll give it what I think is an appropriate score. Overall, I give King Kong, the 1933 epic adventure movie, a 4 out of 5. Say, I guess I love you. That's actually a quote from the movie, and he says it worse than I did. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below and to leave comments and subscribe.